to.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Do?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
We've got all the ingredients for that recipe now.
Great. I'll let you cook then.
Wait, what?
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnigan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnigan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnigan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renin oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Damn it. Lenniget's soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Hold! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menencia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. Can't get out of this!
Dragon Form! Armor won't save you!
My shield! Damn it!
Another incantation ruined.
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
There you are! Fearing Gale!
Here's a healing arm!
Stalagmite!
First aid!
Dragon
It's on! Megasonic Thrust! Coming through! Ha! Mount! Scarlet Inferno!
Lunar corruption!
You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant!
Impact
Frost!
Benediction Light.
There! Got
Heal! I owe you one! Release!
Armor won't save you!
Dragon Swarm!
Talon Storm!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lennigus hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Harros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, you're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Go!
Dragon Fist!
That freaking counted! Eat this!
I'll run you through! Your reflexes will not serve you well. No further!
One more!
Dragon Swarm!
Talon Hurricane!
I'm ready! You picked the wrong fight! On your Swallow Blade!
Healing Circle!
I really owe
Dragon
you
Swarm! Now I'm in the groove!
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same thing! Far enough!
Swallow Blade!
Here goes! That'll bring
Leave the
you down!
ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me! Here's a
You picked the wrong fight!
First aid! Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cycla! There! And again! Super
Swallow!
I can carve through! I'm on a roll now! Hear me!
In a bind! Dragon Swarm!
Burning strike!
I'm on it!
Water! Hear my call!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cycla!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
No choice! Dragon Swarm!
Here's a healing arc! As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
I have no limits! You picked the wrong fight!
Nothing against you now!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Cyan Instant!
Dragon...
Confiscated! Far enough!
Now or never.
Here, let me help.
bind! Dragon Form! Dragon
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to start.
Not my finest.
You'll pay for that!
I'll bring you back from just a bit.
Dragon Form! You're mine!
With the mark.
It's over! Fly! I'm nearly done for.
Radiant light.
I'm on it! Regeneration! Not today! Dragon Form!
Annihilation! I'm on a roll now! Hear me! Flame of fury!
Take this!
Can you take it?
Now or never!
I'll smash you! Now I'm in the groove!
Swallow Blade!
Healing
Dragon Form!
In a bind?
Dragon Shout! Inferno Punch! I need to pull myself together.
Dragon Form!
Here goes!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Leave the chargers to me!
Radiant light!
Far enough!
Swallow Blade! The flame inside is yours to be let free!
Red! Here's the flame of fury! Burning
Shine! Radiant light! Explosive ring!
Regeneration!
Another incantation ruined.
Dragon War!
Negative gate! Being interrupted. This is some punishment.
Stay away from my friend!
Eagle assault!
I owe you one!
Shattering of pieces! Attack!
Dragon Swarm!
Smash you!
Is this it?
My pride is my downfall.
Swallow dance! Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver! Eat dirt! I never miss!
Seismic rupture!
I'll bring you back from this to
got your name on him! Prepare to be sealed!
Here's a healing arm!
Strike!
First aid!
Eat this!
Talon Hurricane!
Can't get out of this!
Glimmer
Dragon Swarm!
Not in your dreams!
Denied! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here, let me help! First
Try
aid!
that.
Hurricane!
Regenerate!
Radiant
Dragon
Force!
Swarm!
Did you hear it now?
Allow me to help
A
you.
freezing storm!
Take this! This engulfs you!
You're finished!
Reflect on lightning. They smite with blackened blade!
Here's a healing art!
Anything in armor is so fine not too long ago.
Glaze interfere! Pierce evil! Freeze
Dragon
laser!
Swarm! I'll run you through!
Breath of light, heal my wearied companion.
Mega ray! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Shine!
Lightning!
Radiant
Do
light!
it!
Force of regeneration!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
I need to be stronger.
An opponent like this should be easy. You got spirit! Try this! Infernal Torrent!
They really don't give up, do they?
Now you'll learn!
Here's a healing art! I can't heal you forever! Eat dirt!
Dragon Swarm!
Hear me! Flame of fury! That'll bring you down!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Shine! Radiant
Dragon
light!
Swarm!
The enemy lives on too.
We'll soon see about that! Do it!
In an instant! Impact block!
Shine! Radiant light!
Here I
Force
go!
of regeneration!
Burn it out!
Regenerate!
I owe you!
Blade!
Ready and
Dragon
willing.
Swarm!
Now you see what I can do.
I'm ready!
I owe you.
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! I can feel my power growing!
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about it. Attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Right! Here goes!
Negative
Talon Hurricane!
Now I'm in the
Chase
groove.
fruitless endeavors.
What's with that shining foe over there?
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm on it.
Cyan Instant!
I'm on it.
I'll grind you into dust!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf!
Let's cut our losses.
dispose of the trash.
Bring him down!
You see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done
Too
that.
late to talk over our differences?
Bathed in blood, rending you a bloody
Armor won't
howling!
save you.
Elusive deity! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it out! Eagle Ray! Take this!
Where are you going?
Begin.
Far enough!
You're mine!
Freezing storm!
Stand from the wind! Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Not my final shot.
Forgive me. This is my fault. Another incantation ruined.
Here, let me help.
Imbue this vanquished soul with
Gravitas field!
Infernal turret! Being interrupted.
Here's a healing one!
Can't move.
Hurricane! Burn!
Water! Here's a healing.
Behold, the earth pulse. Tectonic vision. Can't get out of this.
Eat this!
Lunar correction!
Elusive deity.
Art sealed!
Denied! Now I'm in the groove!
Cyan instant!
Bloody howling!
This one's mine! This is it! Water! Hear my call!
They
I'll do it!
blackened blade.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. Elusive deity. Elusive deity. Rotating pile driver. In a bind. Kisara. All yours, Kisara.
Radiant light! Here!
Elusive deity.
Art sealed!
Rotating pile driver.
Radiant light! Here! Far enough!
Inferno punch!
Lunar correction!
Point of power! Eagle guard!
Eon! Astral energy! Full throttle!
My exploits are bearing fruit. Discourteous, aren't you?
For my lord!
I couldn't make it in time. Tell me, have you ever considered your future?
Can't be happening. How did this go so wrong?
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handled the Zoogles. Then we get some answers.
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
I never miss!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'm ready.
Lightning!
Dragon Swarm!
Talon Hurricane! Execution!
Help this!
Swallow Blade!
I'm just getting started.
Negative gate.
Here I go!
Infernal Torrent!
Help this! Lightning!
I couldn't make it in time.
Talon Hurricane!
In a bind.
Mega Ray!
What's this?
Annihilation!
Death Blow!
Captivity.
I'll bring you back from death to bit!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with
Smash
life.
you!
Resuscitation.
Radiant Spear!
Not
Use
done
a
yet!
healing art! First
Eat
aid!
this!
Not in your dreams!
Talon Hurricane!
Elusive deity.
Mega Ray!
Evil Fly!
Gemini
Can you
Aqua!
take it?
Explosive Ray! Swallow Dance!
Mega Ray!
Seismic rush. Now or never. Can't get out of this.
Now
Try
in the
harder!
I let you all down.
Can't end here!
This is my fault.
I'll bring you
Tempest
Stir!
engulfs you. Tempest. Catapult.
My natural defenses are fading. I'm a sitting duck!
Retreat from this battle.
Retreat? I would never!
Our arts are being interrupted.
Try harder!
Resuscitation.
Dragon Swarm!
I can't lose!
Forgive me.
I won't give up! Ready to go! Here goes!
Visitation!
I'll tear you apart!
Reflect on thy
Dragon Swarm!
They smite with blackened blade!
Now I'm in the groove!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
Flush!
Execute! I'll finish you here and now! Infernal Torrent! It's the
Healing circle! I'll bring you back from
Take
death to
this! First strike! Now you see what I can do!
resuscitation!
Tectonic activity! Swallow blade!
Lightning!
Rip you apart!
I'm out of ammo!
Bloody howling! I owe you one! Another incantation ruined!
Where are you going?
Stop! I'm on it!
I'll heal you all!
On your knees! Infernal punch!
Healing circle!
I'm sorry, Cousin. I owe you this song! Ignite!
Do it!
Blade! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Swallow Blade! Try this!
Here goes!
Negative
I'll heal you all!
Eagle Assault! Dragon Swarm!
Healing circle!
I'll smash you! Slash!
Need to pull myself
Try this!
Freezing storm!
Infernal
That
Torrent!
moves!
Here comes the big one! In a vine?
I'm tornado!
Break it doesn't!
I'll tear you apart!
Benediction light! Inspiration! Swallow Blade! Allow me to help.
Flame of fury!
Swallow Blade! Reflect on thy sin, and more of might will burn out. Ignite! Dragon
Will this help?
Dragon Swarm! Not my fighter! Stay away from my friend! Dragon Swarm! Bloody howling! I owe you one!
Mega ray!
This is doing you this Swallow Blade! Try this!
Flame of fury!
Infernal Torrent! Dragon Swarm! Swallow Blade! Wide open! It won't escape me! Try this! Infernal
Here
Torrent!
I'm ready!
Dragon Swarm! Bane!
I'll heal you all!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara! I'm almost finished. I said almost. Don't get carried away.
Far enough!
Imbue this vanquished soul with life!
Gemini Aqua! I'll heal you all!
Benediction light! Slash! Try
Lunar
this!
corruption!
Infernal
Lunar
Torrent!
blast! I'm all knocked up! Gemini Aqua!
Can you take it? Blade! Infernal Torrent!
On the wind! Instant!
It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out!
Swallow Blade!
Lightning!
No! Can't end here!
Don't leave me!
Take this! There! Dance on the wind! Tempest! Catapult! From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation! Shine! Radiant light! Force of
can't lose.
regeneration!
Illuminate the dark!
Thanks.
Come forth! Holy glimmer! Holy light!
There!
Chain between heaven and earth!
Swallow Blade! Try this!
Dance
Infernal
in the
Torrent!
wind! Air thrust! Piercing dance in the wind!
No further.
Illuminate the dark! This one comes! Ready to go! Water, hear my call! This one's mine!
Piercing roar! Infernal turret!
Will this help?
Going in.
Dragon swarm!
Water snake, wait!
Healing circle!
Tiger blade!
Natural energy!
I'm all wrapped up!
Annihilation!
Between heaven and
Mega
earth.
ray!
By the power of
Wailing
water!
bounty of lightning! Here, let me
Follow
help.
his
Make it
star.
rain!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Now it's just her! Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more.
Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case,
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.